Hey, thanks for clicking on this video. I've taken a lot of courses on how to journal, and I've read a lot of books on how to journal, from Jim Rohn to people you've never even heard of before. You see, coaches and mentors are expensive. I've paid thousands of dollars to get the right coach in front of me, and that was good, but in this video you're going to learn how you can coach yourself through journaling. And this is actually shockingly powerful because, well, it's free. You can do it whenever you want. You know yourself a lot better than any coach out there does, and actually it's a lot of fun. So I'm hoping to plan all of that knowledge I've consumed, as well as over 1,000 journal entries, and put it in this short free video for you to consume straight away. So you can learn how I changed my life through journaling and how you can change your life through journaling starting from today. Now, if you enjoy this type of video, then just hit the like button. It's going to let me know that you liked it, and it's also going to help with the YouTube algorithm so more people see this video. And finally, a lot of you are going to be wondering whether I journal in a written format or on an application. And I wish I could tell you that I journaled in a written way, because I've been asked by so many different sponsors to sponsor their written journal, but that would just be a lie. I'm not going to take the money, and instead I just use Evernote. It's completely free, and that's what I advise you to do too. Now, the first exercise is called weeding. Have you ever had that kind of problem that just doesn't go away? Maybe it's procrastination, maybe it's loneliness, maybe it's anxiety, maybe there's all of these different problems that just don't go away and they plague your life again and again and again. What weeding will do is it's going to let you identify that problem, dig deep into the root, and then just simply flick it out. And we're not just talking about getting rid of the symptoms, we're talking about weeding, because getting rid of the symptoms is like finding a weed in your garden and just cutting off the top. The roots are still there and it's going to come back. What this exercise does is it's going to dig deep and just remove those problems very quickly and very easily. Now, what is this exercise? Well, it's very simple but very effective. The first step is you define the problem that you're having. You think about it objectively, how is it actually in reality? Then you think about it subjectively. How does it make you feel, and what is your perception about the problem that you're having? That is step one. Step two is you summarize it in a singular sentence. Now, on the coaching calls that I've had people just describe to me their life, everything that's going on in their life. And then they say, what do you think about this? And basically they're confused. They don't actually know the problem that they're having, so they're just hoping by giving me context, I'll be able to solve that problem. But you can't solve the problem unless you can define it yourself. So that's what we're doing in the first few steps. And once you can define it in a simple sentence, you write that at the top of your page. You say, the problem I'm having is this, and you summarize it very clearly and very briefly. Then once you've done that, the third exercise is you simply start writing about that problem, and you keep writing about it. And sometimes after 3 or 4 lines of me doing this, I have a solution to my problem and I'm able to answer it. Sometimes it takes more and I fill up the whole page, and then I come to an answer to the problem. And what this is doing is we have these thought loops that are going on in our mind, and they go on again and again and again and again. And that's why these problems persist for years and years and years. But when we do this, what we're doing is we're breaking the thought pattern, and we're able to get down until we find a solution, because our brain is too emotional to think this strategically. But when we write stuff down, we're able to capture each thought and lay a logical next thought on top of each other until we come to a simple and easy solution to that problem. And this singular exercise will completely change your life. I used to do this exercise multiple times every single day. Now I probably do it maybe 2 or 3 times a week. But this exercise and the last journaling exercise will completely revolutionize your life. And before we move on to the second exercise, I want to very briefly explain to you how I created the journaling habit in my life every single day, because I know it's a difficult habit. And it all comes down to Duhigg Study of cue, routine, and reward. Now, the cue is just something that reminds you to do the event. The routine is simply doing the event, and the reward is something that you benefit from after doing the event. Now, the cue is going to be different for each of these journaling exercises, and I'll remind you what I do for the cue for each of these journaling exercises so that you can use that to implement the habit. The routine is the same for each of them. It's just doing the thing. And then the reward, this is up to you to decide. It can be as simple as taking a few moments to appreciate how nice it feels to improve your life, but I like to use something like some sugar-free sweets that I do after I journal, and that's just going to implement the habit, because you need those 3 things to create a habit, and that has been scientifically proven. So think about the cue, the routine, and the reward for each of these different journaling exercises if you want to create it as a habit. The second exercise is called reflect, and it's very simple. You're just reflecting on the past. Maybe it's the past day, maybe it's the past week, and maybe it's the past month. And it's very simple for me. The cue for me doing this is right after I brush my teeth. So me finishing brushing my teeth is the cue for me to do this journaling exercise. And the reason you're going to do this is threefold. First of all, it reminds you to congratulate yourself for the things that you've done well in that set time period. Second of all, it's going to pinpoint the things that you could do better. And third of all, you're able to see if you're on track for your goals. The third exercise I like to do is very simple again, and it's called planning. But remember, simple doesn't mean not effective. Most often, the simple things are the most effective things. But planning, you're just planning ahead for the future. Every single evening, I plan tomorrow today. I plan the next day, the day before. And what that means is you're going to be so effective that next day, so efficient with your time. You wake up knowing exactly what you need to do, exactly the step-by-step thing that you need to do to get you close to where you want to be in your life. You don't have to think, you simply have to do. And that is the power of planning. I also printed out 12 A4 pieces of paper. Each one have a different month on it. And I stuck it up on my wall in front of me, meaning that I can see my whole year in front of me very quickly, objectively, right in front of me. And this helps me plan for that whole year ahead. And the whole benefit of doing this is your effectiveness will increase tenfold if you plan the next day or plan the year before it actually happens. Now the cue for me doing this is very simple. After I've finished reflecting, then I plan, which means in the reflecting stage, when I'm able to pinpoint the things that I could improve on, I then plan exactly how I'm going to implement them in my life, which means that the cue for the planning stage is simply just finishing the reflection stage. That is my cue. But you can also set a cue as just simply a reminder on your phone that you need to plan tomorrow, today, every single day. And this is going to completely change how effective, how efficient, and how much productive you are on a day-to-day basis. The fourth one, very simple, note taking. Use your journal to take notes of the things that you're consuming. It improves retention, it allows you to use that information again and again and again, and it's just a great thing to do. I set a rule for myself that I'm not going to watch YouTube for entertainment. Instead, I'm going to use documentaries for that. And also, if I am watching a YouTube video that I'm going to learn from, I must take notes. There are a couple rules that I introduced, which just stops me wasting time on YouTube. But note taking is great, and I'm sure you know this, so I don't need to spend too much time on this. And the final exercise is the one that completely changed my life. This is the exercise that I'm referring to in the title, and it's called questions. And it all boiled down to a quote I heard from Tony Robbins that said, "The quality of your life is determined by the questions that you ask yourself." And when I first heard this, I thought, well, that's kind of cool, but it's not beneficial to me because I don't know the kinds of questions to ask myself. But that quote is so true. And the quality of your life is directly determined by the questions you ask yourself, which means that you can level up your life, completely transform it, and pivot, as today is the day that transforms your future by asking yourself the right questions. Now, by doing this, by asking yourself the right questions, what you are doing is you're getting knowledge from inside your brain instead of outside your brain. Most of the time when we're stuck on a problem, we Google it, we YouTube it, we ask the people around us, getting external help for our internal situation. In reality, the huge pile of gold lies inside your own brain, and when you dive deep into that, that is when stuff starts to change. Now, these are questions that are something along the lines of, how can you achieve your 5-year plan in simply 5 weeks? Or, what is your 5-year plan? And stuff like, should I be in this relationship? Should I quit this job? What would my dream day look like? What would my dream life look like? And here's a good one. What is my life going to look like in 10 years' time if I don't change? If I keep doing what I'm doing, what is my life going to look like in 10 years' time? Am I happy with that? If no, what am I going to do to change? Now, these are just a few of the questions that are going to start to level up your life. What I've done is I've compiled a huge list of 50 of these powerful questions taken from different courses, books, quotes that I've read, over 100 different books, and I've taken the best questions and put it into 50 that you can download as a PDF by clicking the first link in the description. Now, if you're new around here and you want to level up your life, you're serious about improving your life, then click the subscribe button. If you've enjoyed this video, then make sure you like it. It lets me know that you've liked it, and also it boosts in the YouTube algorithm, just being honest, which means more people will find it. And finally, comment down below if you are going to start journaling and which one your favorite journaling exercise was. These things completely changed my life, and I know they will for you too.